Okay, so we're just going to do a couple, maybe three of the problems that are on page 26 in the blue notebook, finishing up the level 3 notes with multi-step equations. So the only difference between yesterday and today, okay, yesterday all we did was move stuff around, okay? Here we're doing the same thing, but now you'll notice that there's parentheses involved. So that means we're going to have to do what? Distribute. Very good. So I want you guys to tell me, okay, pick three problems that you think would be worth going through as a class.
6, 5, 5, 4.
I could have. Okay, so you want to do the last three, huh? Okay, that's fine. So let's work on the last three together. Okay. So before we can move x to the same side, what should we do with this sign here? This negative is going to get distributed, just like if it were a negative 1 times everything, right? So let's do that. The 14 comes down, and now what comes next then if I distribute that? Very good. And then I'm just copying everything else down. Okay? So next, anything, let's simplify, like if we can make the left side shorter, like can we combine anything?
Add 2.
14 and minus 5, what is that? What is it? 14 minus 5? 9. So plus 9, and that's going to equal negative 5x plus 9. Okay, now that we have each side as simple as possible, now we start to move some stuff around. And I think somebody said this already. What are we going to do with this? Add 2x, right? And so on the left-hand side, what's left?
9.
And then over here we get negative 3x plus 9. Good. That's a weird-looking 9. Now what? 9 minus 9, 0. And then what's the last step? Divide. And so now these cancel out. And what's 0 divided by anything? 0. Okay. Did I forget about the 14? This one over here? We combined 14 with minus 5 to make it into a 9. Does that make sense? Okay. So we combine like terms and then we go from there. And I know we just went over it, but for those that are not here, I'm going to review one more time on the calculator how you can check this answer, right? So our answer was 0. You press the store button. Here's the store button. So you type 0 in, you press the store button, little arrow pops up, you hit X right up here, you hit enter. Okay? And so now you should be able to just type in the left-hand side of the equation exactly the way it's written. Okay? We get 9 on that side, and now if I type in negative 5x plus 9, which is the right side, you get 9 on that side as well. So we know that we got this right. Okay? All right. Let's try then number 5. Why did you guys pick 5? The fraction? Oh, okay. Well, let's say this wasn't a fraction. What would I do if this were a 2 right here? So let's do the same thing. Okay? If you're bad with fractions, you're going to get better. Okay? What's 1/5 times 5 going to be? So just 1x. You can write the 1 or just leave it as x, right? And now what's 1/5 times 20? 4. Very good. Okay, and if you can't do it quickly in your head, that's okay. Just take 1/5 times 20 on the calculator. You'll get 4, right? And now this looks just like the easier ones, right? So what do you guys want to move over now? We got to get x on one side. Let's move the x's first. And you can do it multiple ways, but I'm trying to keep things consistent, like every time I'm moving the x first. Oh, were you going to subtract 4x? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant like, let's get rid of that. Okay, you can do that. If I do minus 4x, you see how this becomes negative, right? What if I did minus x instead? Now what do I get over here? There we go. 3x minus 5. And then this 4 just comes down. Okay, look. Fact is, you're going to get the answer correct if you do the correct algebra. But if you want to avoid minus signs and all that stuff, this is a good way to go. Now what's the second to last step here? Add 5. So 3x is 9. Very good. And then divide by 3. X is 3. Make sense? Okay. Last one. Why did you guys pick this one?
I don't know.
Why don't you guys try this one on your own? And then I'll go through it. Let's see if you can all get it right. If you're watching the video, try it on your own, pause it, and then fast forward to where you see me start writing. Maybe another 30 seconds here. I see. Hopefully, you guys are checking your answer on the calculator. Okay, anybody confident that they got it right? Anybody? You got everybody got decimals or fraction, right? Okay, I did too. How do we check? We've gone over this like 3 times now, right? Store it on the calc, especially when it's goofy, right? You guys don't. I know you guys are used to getting like x equals 2, and everybody's happy because it's a nice number, right? But if you get something like whatever this answer is, everybody thinks they got it wrong. So type it in if you're not sure, and you should see whether or not you got it right. Lorena, what did you get for your answer? Can you get that to a fraction? What's the fraction for that? Remember how to do it on the calculator? Press the math button. And then hit enter on the first option, which is fraction. And then hit enter again. Did it switch it over?
We got it right. I don't even know if we. The 28 will be there.
Which is, I think, what she has. The decimal is like 2.5454, right? Yeah. Okay, it sounds like you actually did it right. So, what did you do first? So you multiply -2 here. And what did you get? -2x. And that is? Good. And then you did the same thing on this side. Multiply the 3. So -12. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, and then what? Plus 2x, sounds good to me. Notice I didn't talk about this because you guys all seem to be pretty decent at it. Whenever I'm adding x's together, I always line them up, right? So that you don't like confuse when you can add things together or not. Anyway, 16 equals -12. 9 plus 2 is 11x. And then plus 12, good. So 28 is 11x. And then everybody started getting worried. What's the last step? Divided by 11. So x potentially, let's see. So 28 divided by 11, you get this, right? 2.5, and this is what you said originally. If you forgot how to change this to a fraction, this is going to be a lifesaver for you guys. Press the math button, and the first option changes it back, okay? A lot of times your answer is just going to be whatever that is, but you know, let's say this was 56 over 22. It would reduce it to 28 over 11 for you, okay? So that's the thing that we like to do. So this is correct. All right, that's good for today. Your homework tonight, okay, you have some questions over here on page 27 that I'd like for you guys to finish in the blue notebook on your own. And then, you know what? Let's just do that for today. How's that sound? I'm going to cut the book out for tonight. Maybe we're slowing down a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed that. When do you think the quiz is going to be?